The idea of collaboration and learning from collaboration is something where there are many people who have spoken extensively on this topic, and I think that we can learn lessons from universities, we can learn lessons from people who have been successful in business, but we can also learn lessons from other places, and one of the places I think we can look is to nature. There are many examples within nature of large organizations or large individuals and small individuals working together for mutual benefit. There is a word in English for this, which actually comes from a Greek root, and it's symbiosis, which really means a living together. And I think that this is the real spirit and the core of the message that I have today. But we can take a very specific example and look at how this can build benefit that goes much beyond what was originally embodied by either of the two individuals. I was creating a company called 1Qubit, which was developing software for computers which did not yet exist. We were based in downtown Vancouver in Canada, and we had an idea that there were all of these new types of hardware from this hardware ecosystem that would come along. So you can imagine we were very, very pleased when people started actually producing these devices upon which our entire business was based. And Fujitsu's digital annealing unit was exactly the sort of device that we had envisioned. And so once this device came to market, in some ways you could think, all the promise of 1Qubit has been fulfilled. But in another way, this is fulfilling the promise of the opportunity to begin the successful collaboration. There were still many challenges which existed because Fujitsu and 1Qubit are very different organizations, and there's a saying that there's many a slip between cup and lip, meaning it's very easy to have everything together and still not make a success. And I think that when you imagine the partnership that we would have with these size of organizations, you can see that it is an unequal partnership, but just like in nature, an unequal partnership can still lead to mutual benefit. And I think this is very clear because although it's well known that many startups will fail, most startups will fail, large companies can't be complacent either. In fact, it used to be the case that the top 500 companies in the United States and even around the world, that if you were within that group, you could expect to be there for at least a third of a century. But now, that's dropped down to less than 15 years, and it's expected that this is going to continue accelerating. So really, both startups and large organizations cannot afford to be complacent. We must find ways to support one another and to work together for mutual benefit. All that I've learned from working together as a small company with big companies is that to achieve success, you need to align incentives, meaning when one company wins, the other company wins. When one company loses, the other company loses, so that there's really a one-team mentality of the idea of working together that's supported from the very top of the organization at both organizations. So it needs to be a priority. It needs to be seen as one group working together to achieve the aligned incentives that have been created.